to keep it 100 because it's time for Hub's Huddle Podcast. Listen to the man that talks sports from football to basketball 24/7, 365. He is known as the average Joe that knows more than average about sports.
What's up, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Hub.
What's up, everybody? It's December 1st, 2019. Man, we already in December, man. Time is flying. This year is flying by. We're in the middle of week 13 of the National Football League. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving holiday. Hope you guys, if you went out shopping, hope you guys were safe. And I hope you got whatever you was looking for, that you went out shopping for. There's some people that enjoys going out and just, being out in the crowds. Me, for one, I was out yesterday and also on Thanksgiving. I don't like being out. I was out on Friday too, taking my daughter to go get some Pokemon cards for what reason I don't understand. That I was sitting in the traffic getting to the mall for about 45 minutes just so I can go get her some Pokemon cards. But me personally, man, I don't, if I could just shop online and just get it done, but sometimes, man, you want something that's right then, right now, that you want to get it out of the store. But, it was some okay deals. Wasn't the best thing, out there. But as far as the holiday, man, I enjoyed my holiday, man. I spent it with family. It was a good Thanksgiving. Spending my brothers and my mother, my grandmother, my sister-in-law, my sister, of course, my kids and my nieces, nephews, my cousins, got to catch up on good times and, laugh, joke around, have a great time. Food was delicious, straight up. But, also, man, shout out to my old high school, man, Howard High School, Wilmington, Delaware. They are the Division II champions, state champs. I'm also shout out to, Hudson, Votech. It's crazy. The two Votech schools, man, are the two teams that that won the state title. And ironically, for Howard alum and also the Hodson family lost coach Pete Grandel earlier in the week. Rest in peace to Coach Grandel. And my condolences are sent to his family. And the thing is that Coach Grandel is connected to both teams. And it's just crazy that they both won the championship yesterday. So, yeah. But think about these games on Thanksgiving, man. I had picked the Bears, the Cowboys, and the Saints. And look, and I put it down like the 3-team parlay was going to be the Lions, the Bills, and the Falcons. Because I was like, look, the Bills going to cover. I don't think they was going to win, but they put a beating on Dallas. That Bears game was very disappointing. I messed up because I was like, I'm going to pick the Lions, the Bills and the Falcons, man. I got there to go put my bet in, man. I was like, you know what? And that's when everybody in the line was like, well, they starting a third string quarterback. And I'm sitting there like, oh man, you're right. So I put in the Bears. I'm salty. Oh man. Yep. And then, just think about that Cowboys and Bills game, man. The Bills are for real, man. They're going to be a good wild card team. And what's crazy, man, they still got opportunity to win this division. It depends on what New England does here on out. Because they both meet each other in week 16 on a Saturday. So, anything can happen, man. New England can drop a game tonight and drop down to second in the conference to Baltimore. If Baltimore beats San Fran today, that's a big game today. But who knows, man? This schedule, the way it's shaking out, man, anything can happen, especially over that NFC East. Man, that is the most weirdest division I have ever seen. It always comes down to the last 2 weeks of the year. And it looked like I said, man, like I said before, the Cowboys are too talented to have that record that they got now. These guys are about 6-6 or something. Like they are too talented to have that record, man. It's just, I don't know what's wrong. It's too much talent over there. Like, you got talent on offense and defense. And, I thought, Thursday was going to be the game where they come out strong and, make like a statement. That had to be the game, but they got wiped. And I mean, it was one play where Josh Allen just stood in the pocket and he didn't move. He just stood still. And it was like, my God, like, this dude has all the time in the world to actually sit still, to look and see, okay, well, I'm gonna throw it here. Bam. It's man, it's just, the Cowboys are terrible. And what's crazy is that, Philadelphia got a chance to win in division. They just have to win out pretty much. The Cowboys, if they happen to run into Philly in that week 16 matchup, which I'm quite sure is going to get flexed out to the 8-20 game on Sunday night football that week. That's going to determine the whole division. But still, it's a couple weeks to go till we get there. Week 13, and you never know what's going to happen. Philly plays Miami today. That should be a win for Philly. If it's not, then there's something really wrong in Philly. Hopefully they get their offense together. The Cowboys, they got to get their whole team has to get together, and that's the crazy part. But looking at these games, man. Wait. Before I get started on these games, man, it's been something that's been said every year in, year out, about the AFC East. And we know Patriots, Bills, Dolphins, Jets, and people, we'll take the Patriots out their division and put them in the NFC East and see what happens. Okay, so the Patriots swept the division this year. The Bills, they beat the Cowboys. They beat the Giants, and they beat the Redskins. Okay, they lost to Philly. Okay, the Jets, they beat the Giants. They beat the Cowboys. Did they beat the Redskins? I'm not sure. I gotta look back and see. But hey. Yeah. People really want to talk about, like what team is what and where at and all that. Man, listen, the top two teams in the AFC East is better than the entire division in the NFC East. It's crazy. Yeah, man, it's just been wild, man. Actually, the Jets did beat the Redskins. So the Jets beat the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Redskins. The Bills beat, the Cowboys. They had beat I believe they did beat the Giants. They beat the Redskins. Yeah, man, like this division here, man. I don't know, man. People just need to start putting some respect on that the division over there in the AFC East. It is a tough division, especially when they play each other. Miami is the only team that's the Jets are coming along. We don't know what they're going to be. Miami's in like a rebuild, so who knows, man. It's just crazy, man, that people, they all talk about, like, the Patriots get like six easy wins a year, and they don't. Like, I mean, it's always a struggle against, the inner, the division teams. People don't understand that. Hey, it is what it is. But think about these week 13 matchups, man. We starting with the Titans. They're traveling to Indy, man, to take on the Colts. Starting on 1:00 games, CBS is the station for that. This right here, man, AFC South. Indy losing to Houston last week was huge. They got to bounce back, man. But Indy's banged up, man, and at the wide receiver position. You're looking at the Titans coming in here. Ryan Tannehill been playing phenomenal since he became starter. Man, listen, I like the Titans in this one, and it's crazy because I'm like looking at the Titans on paper, and I'm like, okay, they got Tannehill. I think Brissett, he's a good quarterback too, but Tannehill's been playing good as of late. Derrick Henry coming in there, good. Their defense is pretty solid. I just like the Titans in this one. I like them 27-23 over the Colts. Next up, we got the New York Jets traveling to Paul Brown Stadium, Cincinnati, to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Man, the Bengals are terrible, man. And you know what? The Jets are starting to put it together, and I guess they're building momentum for next season. Hey, man, Cincinnati could be on verge of going 0-16. We don't know until we get there. I don't think they're going to win today. I just think, hey, man, look. The Jets are a better team than what the Bengals are, straight up, flat out. And the way Sam Darnold's playing, he's been playing pretty good. And that defense of the Jets, it's hard to run on them. Jamal Adams, the anchor of the defense. Cincinnati, they got, Andy Dalton's back, but no A.J. Green, still a huge blow. Dude's been out, all year. So you give me the Jets, man. Give me the Jets. 24-13 over the Bengals. Next up, we get the Washington Redskins traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. This right here got to be a game that Carolina bounced back. Crazy week last week. They fell to the Saints. They could have won that game. The Redskins coming off of Dwayne Haskins' first win, and people making a big stink about what he did. I understand, professionalism and stuff like that. They, the last play of the game, they were he's supposed to come in and take like a knee. He was over there celebrating with the fans. Man, that's man. Look, man, that's his growing pains, man. Hey, man, he's a young kid. The excitement of winning your first game got the best of him. You know what I mean? So, I'm like, okay, yeah, that was crazy, but, he gonna get it together, man. But this game here, man, should be a game where Christian McCaffrey takes over. Christian McCaffrey been balling, man. And you know what, man? He's close to getting 2,500 yards from scrimmage, man. Quarterback situation for the Panthers. Kyle Allen, he was good when he first started out, man. But also got to look at that defense, man. That defense of the Panthers, man. Look, this is crazy. This is like a slop game. I don't know, man. Just gotta pick a winner. But just gonna go with the home team, man. I'm picking the Panthers at 23-17. Next up, might be the game of the day. You got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to M&T Bank Stadium to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson versus this 49ers defense. Man, this is gonna be the best game of the day, probably. We all know I talked to my podcast on Thursday about Earl Thomas's putting them automatically in the Super Bowl, and still in November. Well, we're in December now. Let's see what happens. So they can back it up. Actually, man, look, it's gonna be a messy game, day to day. Like it's meant for running the ball. I had just a high scoring game at first before I knew the weather was, and I really don't want to go off of my high score, but I'm gonna keep it here. But let's just say like the weather could play a major key in this. I like the 49ers though. I mean, I think they're just an overall like I think they just a better team. I think like I'm not discrediting Lamar Jackson. He I seen him last week against the Rams, and watching Russell Wilson against Philly, and I understood like they're two different teams that are playing different teams, but just watching the quarterback play, Lamar Jackson is going to be the MVP. But just thinking about this 49ers defense is ferocious, and them dudes are fast, and they might have something in play to start showing the blueprint for Lamar Jackson on how to stop that. Like, kind of seeing a little bit of it in New England, pretty much like that second half of the game, even though, the score is different, but you got to look at, Lamar Jackson ain't rushed for, 100 yards. I think he had like 61. I think they like put the clamps on that in the second, in the second half. But I think the 49ers, man, Bosa and those guys over there for them dudes, man, I think, they got enough speed on their defense to get in there. They got to close up the gaps, pretty much. Baltimore, strong run game between Jackson and Ingram. This might be a game we might see, Lamar Jackson in the pocket a lot, to throw the ball. So, I mean, look out for that, too. The kid's a dual threat. He's a problem. But, my gut is telling me 49ers, man. I think I'm getting on. I'm getting on it. Like, they have been a sleeper team since the beginning. I picked them to be a wild card. And, and I was like, okay, what they going to get in there as a wild card? But then I thought about Seattle, and I'm like, I don't know. But, I had them getting in as a wild card. But this 49ers team is pretty good, man. And Baltimore's good, too, man. So, and Baltimore's also fighting to, with New England get that 1 seed. And San Fran has to hang on 1 at their current number 1 seed, and also 2, they got to hang on to winning the division because Seattle's right behind them. So this is a big game. This is a big game within the game. But I do like the 49ers. Like my gut is telling me 49ers. Like I like the 49ers 30-27 over the Ravens. Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They'll be traveling to TIAA Bank Stadium. Take going to Jacksonville Jaguars, Nick Foles and company. On a Tampa, man, look, man, the Bucs 2-3 since their bye week. They blown a couple fourth quarters. Tennessee, Seattle. The Jaguars got Nick Foles back. But they've been outscored like 101 to like 36 in the last three games. So I mean, you flip a coin on this one. Like I'm gonna roll with the Bucs. I just think they I don't know, man, but I do see Nick Foles having a big game today. Tampa Bay's pass defense is trash. So I do see him having a big day, but I just think the Bucs somehow pull it out the win. Give me the Bucs, man, 27-24 over the Jaguars. Next up, the rematch of Helmet Gate. Got the Cleveland Browns traveling to Heinz Field, man, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are starting Devlin Hodges. Goodness. Man, this is terrible. You got the Browns coming in, man. The Browns are looking sharp, man, past couple games, man. Baker Mayfield's been getting the job done, with Odell and Landry. Also, Kareem Hunt has been getting in the mix. He's like opening up this offense a little bit more. Pittsburgh do got that defense, man. Like, Pittsburgh's defense pretty good, man. Bush and Watt, them jokers is good, man. But I know it's gonna be a lot of emotions rumbling today, based on what happened in that game on what was it? It wasn't a few weeks ago on Thursday Night Football with Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph. But I just don't think the Steelers are better than the Browns. Even though I know, emotions and adrenaline's going to be running high today, for a get back. I'm not sure if Juju and James Conner's going to be in the day. But I like Cleveland today. I like Cleveland, a little bit big. I like them 24-13 over the Steelers. Expect a whole lot of boo birds and possibly throwing things on the field. Who knows? Next up, Green Bay Packers, man, they're traveling to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. Man, Green Bay's coming off that blowout loss to the 49ers, so I expect to see Aaron Rodgers have a big game today. This team, they have to get going, especially, if they want to stay up on the NFC North, because you got the Vikings, they got a tough matchup against the Seahawks on Monday Night Football. So this is important. Like these games coming down the stretch, man, are real important for a lot of these teams that's in that playoff hunt. They got to start putting it together. And the Giants, man, Saquon's not, he's not 100%, so I don't really expect much. And the offensive line really ain't making his life easy. They got Danny Jacobs or Jones, whatever his name is. He's sorry, y'all. But they got Danny Dimes out there. he was good for a couple weeks, and then it was like, okay, we starting to see the reality of things, and it's like, all right, so he is what he is for right now. I believe, that he needs like a full, like, off season camp and all that to come back. He's gonna be good next season. You can see the you can see the tools that he got. He just need to work on them, and I think he's gonna be better next year than what he is this year coming, this year here. But as far as the game, man, I like the Packers though. I think Aaron Rodgers put on a little show today. They light it up a little bit. But I got the Packers 31-24 over the Giants. Next up, Philadelphia Eagles, man, traveling to Hard Rock Stadium to take on the Miami Dolphins. Man, here we go. Eagles and Dolphins. Dolphins, man, look. And, it's so... man. See, the Dolphins are going to put up a fight today. I'm going to put it like this. But the Eagles are going to win. Eagles got the better team. Lane Johnson's got his nice contract for having fun. But he is back in the lineup. We don't know. Man, they probably get Alshon and Nelson Aguilar today. Also, they got to get Brandon Brooks back today. Jordan Howard is out. Still bound that shoulder injury. It's kind of weird because I'm like, is there something wrong with her like medical staff? Like he had like a stinger before the bye or after the bye. He just hasn't played since. I don't know, but they gotta win out. I mean, if they want to get in the playoffs, man, they gotta win out, and they gotta see that the Cowboys gonna have to lose another game. Like they got to beat the Cowboys in Week 16, but Philadelphia's gonna have to win out to actually get into the playoffs and to win the division. Whoever wins that division will get in the playoffs, of course, but that's the only way they can get in the playoffs with the records that are, with these current NFC teams. But Philadelphia, man, look, Carson Wentz, he should have a big game today. I mean, he's about due. Like the past couple weeks, he has been down. And you can see like some of the things that was on his was on his draft. Like how they do like the draft when they do like your pros and cons, and you can really see it. Like he still stares down a receiver before he throws it, and he doesn't take the flat. Like he does not take like a check down, and he needs to work on that. And I know he tried to work on it last week. He tried to get it done, but the pass is going over Miles Sanders' head. I was like, bro, come on, man, just dart it in, man. Just give it to him. But I do expect a big day out of Miles Sanders today too, because that Miami defense has been giving up a lot of rushing yards. So I might consider putting him into my DraftKings a little bit later. I'm not sure. But as far as this game go, man, like I said, the Dolphins gonna put up a fight, man. I think Fitzpatrick and the boys, they're gonna come out there and they're gonna put up a fight. This Philadelphia defense have been playing better though, but I do like Philly though, 27-21 over the Dolphins. Next up, start our 4:00 slate. We got the Arizona Cardinals. They'll be home to take on the Los Angeles Rams, man. And the Rams, man, look, they got to win out too. I mean, just to try to get into like some type of situation for a playoff push. But I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs this year. The Cardinals are playing good. Kyler Murray, dude's phenomenal. But the Rams, man, they're just going through a Super Bowl hangover like no other. Like, this is just crazy. For them to come out and be like this, and then last week against the Ravens beat up on them up in L.A. Like, come on, man. Like, this Rams team should be, good. And I was expecting them at least, I was like, hey, man. That's why I was so hard with dumb 49ers and the Seahawks in that division. I'm like, they all three good teams, and it was just hard to pick, who's going to go in, who's going to be a wild card. But Rams, they just ain't got it. I am going to pick them today just for the fact that they should win the game. Like, they are a better team. But Cardinals is balling, man. But I'm roll with the Rams, though. I'm going to go with them, man. 27-24 over the Cardinals. I don't see them dropping two in a row. Next up, we got the L.A. Chargers traveling to Mile High, take on the Denver Broncos, AFC West divisional game. Chargers coming off of a tough loss against the Chiefs a couple weeks ago, Monday Night Football over in Mexico. The Broncos, man. Listen, man. I don't know, man. The Broncos are just they're in the mix of a rebuild as well. Listen, they're gonna I don't even know who's gonna start this week. They were splitting the rest between Drew Lock and Brandon Allen. So I don't know. The Chargers, man, they're 4-7, man, and they gotta be the best 4-7 team in the league. Oh man, the Chargers, man, it's time for Phillip Rivers just to hang it up, man. Just go ahead and get up out of there, man. Derwin James might return this week. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they're not gonna go to the playoffs. I mean, it's pretty much wrapped up over there. Wow. I'm just gonna pick the Chiefs. The Chargers today. I'm gonna pick the Chargers 24-17. It's gonna be I ain't wearing a tissue of that game. Next up, man. Surprisingly, this right here is AFC West. Gonna stay right there in that division with the Chiefs at home at Arrowhead taking on the Raiders. Oakland's been surprising, man. Hey, but they are 1-4 against teams with winning records, though. So you know what that says. I'm already picking the Chiefs because the Cowboys taught me anything on Thursdays that they can't beat a team with a winning record. So maybe they might, the Oakland did. They beat one team, but out of 3, 5. but yeah. I'm gonna just go with the Chiefs today. Better offense, defense is suspect. I mean, the Raiders get their run game going. Hey, they can hang in there, which I expect for the most part in the beginning of the game. But I think the Chiefs find a way to just start pulling away to force Derek Carr to start throwing the ball a lot. But I like the Chiefs in this one, man. I like them big. I like them 35-17 over the Raiders. I just think the Chiefs are going to start to push, man, to take over that division, put it down, and probably push for like a third seed going into like the playoffs. So I like that. Next up, we got a Sunday night matchup. You got New England. They're traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. Sean Watson, I like that kid, man. You know what, man? That dude. Ever since I seen that game against New England, his rookie year, man, I was like, you know what? This dude is making them throws, man. That back shoulder throw and that it's all, dude's bad. He a bad boy, man. Coming in, man. He got this Patriots defense. They're coming in, off of 2 big wins. They kept Dallas out of the end zone last week. And, they basically shut down Philadelphia in the second half of that game 2 weeks ago. New England, man, like I said, man, y'all know I'm a Pats fan. But I like to be honest, man, and they gotta find something in this offense still, man. And this is like it's frustrating as a Pats fan because you're like, what they have, like, man, they should be a lot better. And I'm just trying to analyze it. And people are like, well, maybe it's Brady. Brady, he ain't the same. And yeah, he's not the same. But this lackluster offense is not on Tom Brady because he hasn't, like, when he has time, it's like these guys still can't get open. It's like they need somebody, man. I don't know what it is, man. They need somebody to step up or something to happen. But this Houston defense, man, they took J.J. Watt's not there anymore. It's just like, I don't know, and the Patriots pretty much know, how this whole Houston Texans defense run. This has to be, the coming out game for the offense. I mean, they got to get the run game going. I expect Sony Michel to have a big game today. As far as Houston go, their key to victory today is, running Carlos Hyde against this New England defense, who has been shown that, that is the weakness in their defense. The matchup I'm looking forward to the most is Gilmore versus Hopkins. And I know, Jason McCourty's out, so expect, JC, Jackson to get more time, and, Jonathan Jones. But this game right here, man, I think it's a close one, man. I'm gonna take the Patriots 27-20. I think this got to be the game where they get it going on offense. I mean, defensively, is not a concern. It's more concerns towards the offense, and they're going to need that offense, man, coming down the stretch, and also going into January if they want to get where they want to be at, and that is playing in February. Next up, we got the last game of the week, Monday Night Football. Minnesota Vikings going to be at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, take on the Seahawks. This is a tough game to pick, y'all. Like, I was sitting here and I'm just like, Seattle, Russell Wilson going to do his thing, but I'm like, Seattle secondary is garbage. He's going against Diggs and Thielen and company, man. Dalvin Cook. This Vikings offense is pretty good, but then you got Kirk Cousins, and you're like, Cousins versus Wilson. I'll take Wilson, but this it's a very tough game to pick, y'all. Like I'll just sit there like, wow, like I only got a 3-point game, and I had to roll with the Seahawks. I think, like them knowing that they could possibly, win their. I mean, both teams they're in the same spot pretty much. Like they're in the battle. Like the Vikings are in the battle with the Packers, for that division, and you got the Seahawks and the 49ers in the battle for that division over there in the West. But just looking at it, like if the 49ers somehow lose today and they end up 10-2, and then Seattle end up 10-2 today. I mean 10-2 on tomorrow night. That hey. They're making a whole bunch, man. I mean, these games, man, are very, very, very important. The Seahawks, man, listen, they're pretty good. Russell Wilson is in conversation to be the MVP. I think it's Lamar Jackson, just based off of these past few weeks watching him just being just bananas. And what's crazy is that if somehow the Seahawks win tomorrow, and say if the 49ers lose on today and going down the stretch, they got a week 17 matchup that can determine the whole division of who gets in and who's going to be the wild card. Like, and that's how crazy this whole thing is. Like this is like, wow. Like, that right there is a good, division. And just watching the West, the Rams, they just fell apart. But as far as this game goes, man, I'm going to take the Seahawks, man. I think 27-24. I think they're going to keep everything the way it is. This whole division, like, I think, if the Seahawks win, they're going to move to 10-2. And say if the 49ers lose today, they'll move to 10-2. So they're going to be tied for the first seed and also the fifth seed. Like, it can go either way. Like, the 49ers are going to be the right now, the 49ers are the first seed. The Saints are the second seed, and then you got right now you got the fifth seed is the Seahawks, the third seed is the Packers right now, and the Cowboys are the fourth seed, just holding on at 6-6. But the Vikings and Packers, that right there is huge too, because the Vikings are 8-3, and so is the Packers. It's just you just looking at how everything is breaking down, man. It's like, wow, like. The NFC is very interesting. I mean, the AFC is very interesting as well too. But just looking at all these guys, man, because the Packers and the Vikings are playing on week 16 too, and that and that's gonna be a Sunday night game. So that they're gonna get they're gonna get the nod over the Eagles and the Cowboys that week. So the Eagles and Cowboys game is going to stay at 425, which is perfect. But then you have the Vikings and the Packers. That's going to determine the division right there. God, like even if Green Bay loses, well, they're not going to lose to the Giants. But even if the Vikings lose and the Green Bay end up dropping the game, come before week 16, or when they get there and they both play each other, and they hey, it's the division on the line. Division on the line for the NFC North, division on the line for the NFC West, division on the line for also on the line for the AFC East as well. Because like I said, if New England drops this week and next week, they got the same record, and Buffalo wins, next week, they got the same record. So, they both will be 10-3 leading up to that week 16 matchup. That's going to be on, in NFL Network, I believe. It's going to be the station on that Saturday. And also, man, look, you got the Chiefs, Raiders. They both are going at it for division. The Chiefs 7-4, the Raiders are 6-5. They play today. So say if the Raiders somehow beat the Chiefs, then hey, they both got the same record, pretty much. And then the same thing, like with the Texans and the Colts, the same situation, man, same boat. Right now over there, the wild card situation for the AFC, the two wild card teams is the Bills and the Steelers. And you still got teams like the Titans, Colts, Raiders, the Browns are still in the hunt too. And it's just crazy. And the NFC teams in the hunt is the Rams. Rams got a winning day, but so I picked them today. I think they're going to win. The Bears are still in the hunt. They got the Cowboys next Thursday. The Eagles are still in the hunt. They got a winning day against the Dolphins, man. And this is the best part of the year because we're looking at how everything shake out, man, and we're like, wow. Which team is going to be in it, what's going to happen. A lot of these games coming up, man, are very big games in this part of the season. So we got a lot of football to go, man. Got a whole month to determine, who's going to be where, how, when, these whole seedings. And this is the best part of the year, man. But, they always say, man, you see what you're going to be after Thanksgiving, man. The season has begun. November's big boy football. December, after Thanksgiving, this is where, you got to be who you are. This is where you're going to see who is the clear-cut favorite that's going to win it all, possibly in for February. But as far as my pick go, guys, I got Seahawks over Vikings, Patriots over Texans, Chiefs over Raiders. Chargers over Broncos, Rams over Cardinals, Eagles over Dolphins, Packers over Giants, Browns over Steelers, Buccaneers over Jags, 49ers over Ravens, Panthers over Redskins, Jets over Bengals, and Titans over Colts. So those are my picks for this today and also tomorrow night. Last week I went 10-4, y'all. So let's try to get it together. Right now I'm sitting at 2-1. Of course, I had the Bears and the Saints, and my loss was the Cowboys. My season total right now is 110, 68-1. That's including the Sunday games. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed today's NFL matchups. Enjoy this day full of football. If you guys know you got some leftover turkey, enjoy that while you're watching some football today. Don't fall asleep. And I'll catch you guys next week, man. We go over we'll be in week 14. So until next time, man, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for continuing to join and support the show and continue to share this, man. Anybody, like sports, whatever, turn them onto the podcast, man. Tell them everywhere, man. You ain't no excuse. You can get it everywhere. iTunes, you can get it on Google. You can get it on iHeartRadio, all over. Tell your Alexa, play Hubs how to play it. Google Home joint, if you got one of those, tell to play, my podcast. So until next time, y'all be blessed and be safe, man. And have a good week. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.